Look, there are many, many ways to create a character. There aren't really any rules, but if you're not quite sure how to begin, I can help you. And one way to create a character is to make something called a life list. Now, a life list is a pretty hardcore challenge, which I'm sure that you are more than capable of doing, so here we go. What I want you to do is to write down a list of every single person that you have ever met in your life. Yep, you heard right. So you'll probably start with your mum or your dad, your siblings if you have any, family if you have, perhaps your earliest school friends. But this list, it definitely doesn't have to be in any chronological order. What I want to do is see where your mind and your memory take you. And you know those memory palaces when you go into memory? It's not A to Z, R to O. It's not linear. When we think about something, we then hop on and think about something else. So you might write mum and then dad, and then your mind and your memory will start to fill in the blanks. And I just want you to kind of transcribe what comes up in that film in your head of every single person that you've ever met in your life. I don't, however, want you to stop with your family and friends. I want you to write down the people you remember meeting. So, for example, my life list includes a very friendly bus conductor that I met on the number 15 bus in 1979, driving in the middle of London. My life list also includes a girl who bullied me horribly at school, and many years later she looked really ashamed when I bumped into her in a shop, and her life hadn't worked out. So this list can go on for hundreds and hundreds of pages, because you might be 13 years old, you might be 18, you might be 30, you might be 56. But you've already met thousands of people in your life. Maybe tens of thousands. Oh, I want to be very, very clear about one thing. I am not talking about online meets. You will only write people down in your life list who you have met in real life. In real life. Once you've written down 200 people, and it will take much less time than you think. I know it sounds daunting, but it really isn't. I want you to start reducing your list down the way that great chefs reduce down sauces. I don't cook at all, I buy takeaway, but apparently that's what they do. So by reducing our list, what we do first of all, we take away from the list all the people that we're closely related to. Anyone that you have a close relationship with, you take them away from the list. We're not going to use those people this early in your writing career as inspiration for characters. The next thing you do after that is to take away all the people who are your friends. Okay? Too close. See, you won't be able to create, and you shouldn't. These are your friends. The third thing you do is then take away all the people that you go to school with, or the people that you work with. So that includes teachers, it includes bosses, people who you might meet at the swimming pool. Of course, this is pre-pandemic, post-pandemic, but you know what I mean. Now I want to see who you're left with. I want you to look down that list and choose from this list of people you've met in your life who are not close to you, the people who stand out for you. And my darling, lovely brothers and sisters, I would love you to just go on your gut instinct, all right? Don't try and please me or some system that you think that there's no getting this right. You have to just trust your instinct. The less you know about the person, the better. The best people for this challenge are the ones that you've just had a fleeting encounter with, like the bus conductor, the people that made an impression, even if it was just for a few seconds. And it may have been a negative impression, or it may have been a positive one. Either one is acceptable. You've now got a list of 10 people. Bus drivers, football coaches, the woman who sold you candy, I don't know. Now reduce that list down to 3 people. And the way you do that is, again, to go to your gut instinct and just choose the first 3 that stand out for you. There doesn't have to be any reason for them standing out, they just do. So you're getting in touch with a part of yourself that knows a little bit better than yourself at this stage. It's the artistic gut instinct. Don't know why, but that's interesting. Listen, I've made a whole career just going on my gut instinct. Don't know why, but I find it interesting. And from the 3 people that you've whittled it down to, so now we've gone from 200, potentially 10,000, to 200, to 10, to 3, you're going to choose just 1 from those 3 random people, yeah? And you can do this if you don't feel that you want to choose them. You can put the 3 names into a hat. I don't know if people wear hats anymore. That's what we used to do, on a piece of paper, and just pull out the first one and let Mother Chaos decide. Let the gods decide who you're going to write about. And I've done that quite a lot. There's the name. That's who you're going to write about. The most important thing is that this person's interesting to you. You don't have to know why they are interesting. And you definitely, as I've said before, shouldn't choose the person that you think I want you to choose, or that other people want you to choose. You've got to trust your instinct, because it's right. Don't analyse it. It's right. And once you've got that one name, you're going to begin to write. And you start with a description. The woman was tall, with dark hair. I think her name was Angelina, but I'm not sure. She was overweight, or skinny, or average. She was wearing jeans, or an evening gown, or a black plastic bag. Her mood, she seemed to be angry, but then she laughed. Where was it that I met her? All these details I want you to write down. What was the weather like that day? How was I feeling? Where had she just come from? And where was she going? Because every human being that you ever meet in your life has come from somewhere and is going somewhere. So that's why we should be quite careful about judging people just in that moment. Because human beings don't live in a snapshot or a selfie. They live in a movie. Ask yourself what kind of family that person had. Did they have a family at all? Maybe they're all alone in the world. And you'll quickly find out that you know that you only have a very, very few facts about this person. And once you've run out of facts, the weather, what they said, if they said anything, what they were wearing, what they looked like, that is the time to start creating. So you take the basics from the character on your list, from the real person, what they looked like, what their mood was, the vibration, if you will, around them, the atmosphere, and then you begin to spin and spin. This is the wool, this is the thread, and you let your imagination take you wherever you will, and you trust yourself, and you build life from this.